Hello art lovers, this is Jon McNaughton. Welcome to my painting studio. Today I want to talk about a painting that's very dear to me. It's called The Forgotten Man, and I want to share with you some of the secrets that most people don't know about this painting. My painting, The Forgotten Man, was done as my reaction to Obama and the Congress and Senate pushing through the Affordable Care Act back in 2011. I was so upset. I just felt like, Obama was pushing the limits. He was lying to the public, and all the time I felt like they were forgetting the forgotten men and women of America, the people that are struggling to make ends meet. And I know that they felt that this Health Care Act was going to somehow change things for the poor, and it might have for a few, but it ended up taxing a lot of people. And there were so many lies and misrepresentations involved with that at the time when I painted this, a lot of it was still uncertain. And then later it was discovered that he in fact had lied to the people. And here you see Obama stepping on the Constitution, which man, he did in so many ways. But this painting is interesting because it has all the different presidents. I'm going to kind of scan around it here. All the different presidents, all 44 of them in this painting. And each of them, well, not all, but a lot of them have in some way or another stepped on the Constitution, doing things that weren't necessarily constitutional. But I thought Obama was by far the worst, and so that's why I painted him the way I did. I'm probably his least fan of any artist. I'll probably be remembered as the artist who painted Obama during his 8 horrible years as president. And people ask me, let me go back here, people assume that this is because of being some kind of a racist, which couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, just because somebody disagrees with somebody and doesn't like somebody and they happen to be a different race than them doesn't make them a racist. I have nothing against people that are Black American or Native American or of Mexican descent or Middle Eastern. It makes no difference to me, honestly. But what I hated was his policies. And the guy was a total socialist. He might have said, well, I know he never identified himself as such, but oh my gosh. Socialized healthcare. What a joke. So, anyway, I felt like I needed to paint him the way I did. And you see he's got his arms crossed in defiance. He's certainly looking off in the direction away from the forgotten man. He has his own idea of what he wants America to be. And if you look at some of the presidents that are near him, you can see a lot of them are doing the same kind of thing. They're kind of looking off into the distance. They have their own vision for America. So behind President Obama, you have George Bush. And I like George Bush. But there was things he did later in his presidency that really bothered me. And for that reason, I felt like he's still big government. He's still, I hate to say it, but he adopted a lot of big government bailout programs, and the Patriot Act, seemed to not be very American, in terms of protecting our privacy. And so towards the end of his presidency, I started to be a little bit disillusioned with Bush. But at the same time, I felt like he really cares about people. Particularly the forgotten man. So I'm a little mixed emotions on him. That's why I have him pointing. And he's pointing at the forgotten man over here, sitting on the bench. But beneath him is James Madison, is gesturing towards Obama standing on the Constitution. It's like, what are you doing? He was instrumental in writing a lot of the wording in the Constitution. And I can't even imagine how he would feel. So I wanted to put that in the painting. And then we go up here and you see there's John F. Kennedy and George Washington. John F. Kennedy's pointing towards Barack Obama like, hey, what are you doing? Not cool, man. Not cool. You know, every one of these presidents is just so interesting, their history. They're not all squeaky clean. Probably the only one that I would say is almost close to perfect in my eyes is George Washington. Like Washington, you know, really was a true statesman. You know, he was in a position where he could have pretty much done what he wanted. He could have been the first king of the United States, and he chose to relinquish his power. He believed in the Republic and the idea of what America was, and I love him for it. So, you know, in this painting I took artistic liberties and I put people where I felt like they needed to be placed. You know, I've got all these different presidents over here. They're all pointing to the forgotten man. What about that guy? Did you forget the forgotten man? Why do you think we elected you? Why do you think the people elected you? Now, I used my brother as the model, and my brother, he's good at showing pain in his face. See that pain? Okay, when I look at the painting sideways, it gets a little skewed. Let me fix it here. There he is, the forgotten man. And I love the pain in his face. Getting the shadow on there. When I did the sequel to the painting, the one called You Are Not Forgotten with President Trump, I included the forgotten woman and their child. There's a lot of different people that could have been on that bench. You know, it's not just this working class man. I mean, you could definitely put a lot of minorities. You know, some of the people that have been, in my mind, gotten the short end of the stick is the Black American community. You know, the Democrats have really stuck it to them with the way they've opened the borders to all these Mexican migrants that have come here illegally. You know, the Democrat Party has not helped the Black American. Hopefully Trump can do something about that. So here's my painting, The Forgotten Man, and there's still a lot of things I can tell about it. I'll save that for another one of these, revealing the secrets. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon.